Hello everyone, and I'm sure everyone in their organizations, they are looking for a good financial system to streamline their business activities and have accurate reporting and do not lose control. So if you are looking at such thing, ERPNext is the answer. So here we at Aqiq Solutions, we provide and we implement ERPNext as an ERP for an organization, streamlining all your financial activities into one single system. You follow this video throughout, you will find how the financial module works in ERPNext and how we can streamline all your business activities, proper workflows inside the system, having accurate reporting, budget controls, PD check reconciliation, cash flow, financial management, reports like trial balance, balance sheets, compared across various years. Follow us. Hi everyone, and I'm back. This is Quresh with you from Aqiq Solutions, and as promised, we are today going to explain the financial module in ERPNext. Okay, so earlier we had already two sessions. One session was about Aqiq Solutions, and we have given a background of Aqiq Solutions and how we are associated with ERPNext, being their partners in Kenya. And one thing just to clarify, when we are being partners in Kenya, that does not mean we are only serving the Kenyan region. We can take any implementation around the globe, and we have done that. Okay, so today, and the second video was about ERPNext in general. We have explained all the modules available in ERPNext and the functionalities of ERPNext, the features of ERPNext, and how it is robust and scalable and also customizable. So today let's dive in to the financial module, where I'm going to take you through the various aspects of financial module, and it gives you a proper understanding on how the system is flexible, how the system allows any type of industry to adapt it very easily. Okay, so I'm going to log in as administrator. And this is the screen now, the home page. Basically, when you log in, it comes to the home page, and this is the financial accounting. Okay, so I'm here on the financial accounting module. Now, as we click on the financial accounting module, basically I get the dashboard of financial accounting. This is the P&L dashboard, and these are the number cards. So it shows you a snapshot of the total outgoing bills, incoming bills, total incoming payments, total outgoing payments, and again, these are all customizable. We can change them. Okay, this is just what the default system provides. Again, we can customize and put whatever we need, crucial information to be displayed. Now, when we come to the financial accounting, we understand that any system, any financial management system, the backbone of a financial accounting is the chart of accounts. If you have a correct, structured chart of accounts, you can get proper reporting. So basically, when we talk about chart of accounts is a combination of two aspects. You have the accounts that belongs to the P&L, and there are those accounts which belongs to the balance sheet. Correct? So all income and expense accounts are P&L accounts, or assets and liabilities accounts, basically they are balance sheet accounts. Okay, as we mentioned in our first video, we know business, and we have studied business, we have studied accounts, so we are accountant as well. We understand accounts as well as IT, and this makes our implementation really successful, because when we sit with the financial accountant, we understand each and every aspect of accounts, and when we sit with the directors, we know what they need from the financial accounts. So here I'm going to show you the chart of accounts. So don't worry, it looks weird, but it's not, because this is a list view. We come here and change it to tree view. So when we come to tree view, now it shows you a proper structure chart of accounts. Okay, so 5 main categories in chart of accounts. When we create the system by default brings you a chart of accounts. That does not mean that you have to use it as it is. We know when you migrate from one system, from a legacy system to another system, you need to bring what you have into this new system. So over here, basically, we map the existing chart of accounts with the chart of accounts which ERPNext has. Okay, so if I say expand all over here, it will expand for me the chart of accounts and show you the chart of accounts. This chart of accounts does not belong to any company. These are all dummy accounts that we have opened for the purpose of a demo. So here you see you have, if I click here, this is the assets. Then you see it has current assets, cash in hand, the bank account, all the accounts receivable, stock account, fixed assets accounts, okay, investment, then liabilities, okay, and then it has the equity and income and expense. Okay, so expenses are also direct expenses, categorized into direct expense, something called stock expense, and it has its own uses, okay, how the system uses it. It has also the indirect expenses here, okay, and some other expenses that we had created directly into the expenses and not belonging to any category. Okay, opening an account is very simple. It's not that much hard. Example, if I want to open a bank account, I just click here on the category and I say, even without clicking, if you just do mouse over and you come here and you say add child, so you start adding an account. Okay, so let's say I want to open an account. I call it Prime Bank KS account. I give it a number. This is your number, account number. The bank type, I say it has to be bank. Okay, you see the ERPNext gives you all these types of accounts. It's really huge. Okay, so it makes sure any organization can capture their types of accounts properly, okay, and in the correct group. And I can also tag a currency, a default currency, to the account. If I forget, then it takes the base currency, which is basically Kenyan shilling or whatever we define inside the system. Okay, but when I tag, I force the system to use this particular currency. Okay, I create, and here it is. It created for me the Prime Bank account. Okay, also the ERPNext gives you the flexibility to use the chart of accounts with numbers or without numbers. Okay, some organizations which are small and medium, they say fine, we don't want any numbering, but most of the organizations, what we have seen, they actually go with a proper structured numbering. Okay, so this is basically the chart of accounts that we created. If I want to go back to the accounting module, I just click here on accounting, you see, and it will take me back to the accounting module where we were actually exploring the different aspects of accounts. Now let's come here. These are all shortcuts. Okay, from these shortcuts, let's come here to the dashboard. So if I click on the dashboard, it will take me to the dashboard specific to financial accounting. Okay, so here are few details in the dashboard. Yeah, you can see the P&L. You can also check the incoming bill purchase invoices trend. This for the last year. You can select the date range, and this is monthly. If you want yearly, this will all change to yearly. Okay, as I said, it's flexible. You see how you play with the chart on the screen directly. Okay, you don't have to go and create and program it. Okay, it's very simple here. You want it monthly, it will give you monthly. Okay, similar to the outgoing bills, it gives you an accounts receivable aging, payable aging, and bank balances, budget variances if any. Okay, if you have set some budgets and there are variances, we'll show you here in a graph. Again, this is customizable. Okay, if I come here, I can edit and I can change the dashboard and add more dashboards into it, more charts into it, more details into it. Okay, back to the accounting module. So let's go back to the accounts here. So we have seen the dashboards. Now let's come to the accounting masters. So in the accounting masters, we had seen the chart of accounts. Okay, we can also open multiple companies. Okay, here if I want, I can open multiple companies and I can transact in each and every company. Okay, even if each and every company have its default PIN number, I can use the different PIN numbers. I can have different chart of accounts for every company, and I do my multi-company setup over here. Okay, it has its pros and cons. So once we sit with the company, we advise them the best way to go about it. Okay, then you have the financial year. So this is the fiscal year basically. So currently we have a fiscal year of 2024, and if I want to enable the fiscal year of 2025, so I'll come here and say now enable for me 2025. If I don't have this enabled, what will happen is I will not be able to post any data in the financial year 2025. Okay, and I save it. So now you will find I have two fiscal years, 2024 and 2025. So as 2025, now as I'm recording this, we are already in December 2024. So as 2025 comes, immediately the users can transact in 2025. Okay, you see how easy it is. It's nothing that you need an IT guy or an IT guru, or always you need to call us. If the setup is correct, even your guy, anyone having the knowledge of the system can just do these settings and create them, and you can start working on them. Now here we have something called cost centers. Okay, or we call them also accounting dimensions over here. So the accounting dimension, if I come to the accounting dimension here, okay, we have something called cost centers. Cost centers are very crucial. Okay, when we sit with an organization, actually we discuss and we debate, and then we agree what the cost center has to be done, or how the company should adapt a cost center. So basically I'll give you some examples over here as we are looking at these cost centers. So when we look at this, you will find that the system has been the cost centers have been set up based on branches. Okay, so example, I tell you that one company, let's say Aqiq Solution is a company, and Aqiq Solution has different branches. So I have a branch in Nairobi, I have a branch in Mombasa, I maybe have a branch in Malindi, and I have a different branch up country. Okay, so over here when I have different branches, I am interested to see the profitability of each and every branch separately. So what will I do? I will have all the income and expenses posted per each and every branch. Okay, I'll have employees in Nairobi, I'll have employees in Mombasa, I'll have employees in Malindi. So I want, even when those employees, when I'm running the payroll, I'm going to post the payroll to a particular branch. So all the expenses which I'm posting will go to a particular branch. All the income, all the sales that I'm generating, okay, again I'll post them to that branch. So by end of an accounting period or any point of time when the decision makers want to see the profitability of each branch, it is easy. Okay, again, it's not an hard and fast rule, it has to be branch wise, the cost center. It depends on an organization policy, a company policy. Another example, in some companies they say fine, we don't want branches, we want as per our business lines. So let's say, again, I'm giving you an example of my company, Aqiq Solutions. We are doing ERPNext. So I have a team for ERPNext, for ERP solutions. I do Zectico solutions. That's the safety and security and parking solutions. So I need to know each business stream, the position of each business stream. Okay. So what will I do? My cost center will become now my the business stream. So whatever sales, whatever expenses I'm spending in that division, we can call it also a division, okay? Division of ERPNext. So I'll put all my expenses into ERPNext, all my sales into ERPNext, and I'll come to know, am I profitable in ERPNext in providing ERP systems or no? The answer is yes, because it is profitable. Now, if I go to Zectico Solutions and I want to see how is my Zectico doing, again I'll be able to achieve it because I have set up my cost center based on my business streams. Okay, so with these two examples, I think I made it clear it's again a decision making, it's a policy by the company how they want to adapt the cost center, and we help them to think and to come into a decision. Okay, so this is now the cost center. We go back here. Now we have the budgets. Okay, every company basically they want to have a budget. Okay, and by the beginning of any year or ending of any year, they start budgeting for the next year. So there is always a need of having a budget over here. Okay, so what they do is they will go and create a budget. Okay, let's say for every expenses they are going to create a budget. So when they create a budget, they will come and say, fine, for each and every expense line I'm going to create a budget. So now we have the budgets, okay, over here if you see. So every company basically they want to set up a budget, correct? They will have a list of expenses and or ledger accounts, and they want to set a budget so that that budget, it does not exceed the particular budget. So what we do, the system actually allows you to set budgets. Very easy, very simple. You just click on add budget, and the beauty over here is it gives you the budget you need it against what. So just before this I have explained the cost center concept. So you can set a budget against a cost center. Now in this company I've set up branches as cost center. So fine, now I can say for Mombasa branch, okay, my marketing expense, okay, should be 100,000. Okay, so now what will happen that for Mombasa branch and for this fiscal year, let's say I'm setting it up for 2025, okay, my marketing expense should not exceed 100,000. Now if I tell the system like this, the system will understand 100,000, but at which stage should the system perform a check on the budget? So here comes the control action over here. Okay, so is it upon actual booking of the expenses, or it's upon when I request for material, and or upon placing a purchase order? Okay, so when I place a purchase order to my supplier, okay, and I'm purchasing, let's say, something related to marketing expenses, it will go and check. Okay, and what is the action to be taken? You see here, it gives me stop, it gives a warning, or it ignores. Okay, if it stops, then it won't allow you to actually proceed and raise an LPO. So it stops you from buying certain things that are related to the marketing expenses. Okay, but if I say one, then it will give you a message, a warning, and allow you to proceed. Now in some companies what we have done stop, it stops them, but that LPO now goes for authorization to the directors or any department heads or higher ups, okay, once it exceeds the budget. So you see now even authorization comes in place in ERPNext to perform certain action. Okay, so like this I can create budgets for multiple cost centers, okay, and for multiple, if I say add row here and I have any other expenses, I can still, okay, I can still name the expenses here. Example, we have here legal expenses, so I can also keep a budget for legal expenses for the year. Okay, and I can also create a template and have it distributed monthly. Okay, so the system allows you to again set a yearly budget or a monthly, and if it is monthly, then you see here action if accumulated monthly budget exceeds on PO. So if I have a balance somewhere in the monthly, then it will basically if it accumulates, then the system also calculates this accumulated budget for me. Okay, so this is how my budgeting actually works over here. Okay, I'm back to the budget. There is something that I missed. Let me explain to you also. I actually explained to you the budgets based on cost center. Let me also explain to you based on a project. You see, the system ERPNext has a module for projects. Okay, what are projects? So basically in my organizations, let's say a construction organization, okay, I have projects. So for every project I do a budget. okay, and then my expenses is based on what I've budgeted for it for that particular project, and whatever income I get, again it goes to that project. So my project becomes actually a cost center, okay. So I can also have my budgeting based on each and every project, and I can have a combination of both, a cost center as well as a project, okay. Okay, so, and definitely if I cross my budget, then there is a variance report over here. If I go and check my variance report, example per project, because I have some transactions here per project, it shows me here, you see, example, I had some expense on doors, okay, for project number 12, which was estimated to be 1,200,000, and I've already spent 30,000. So my variance is showing me 1,170,000 is the variance, but this variance is green. That means I'm still allowed to spend 1,170,000. Once it goes in minus, this color turns in red, okay. So this report actually gives me a proper overview of my budget variances. So we are back here to the accounting to continue. Okay, so this is in overall about cost center and budgeting. Now let's come to the currencies. So the system supports multi-currency. Multi-currency means the system already has a list of currencies over here, okay. It's around, you see, 149 currencies, okay. Over here, if I see, these are all the currencies available. Now it depends, my company deals with which currency. I have to just enable it from here. Okay, so my company now will start dealing with all those currencies which I have enabled. Now once I enable the currency, the system allows me back to set currency exchange rate. Okay, so if I see, I have two currency exchange rates here. One was set in September, okay, and it was showing the rate was 120, and another currency was set in November, that's showing 130, and like this every month or every week I can set the exchange rate against each and every currency. Now when I set an exchange rate over here, it's very simple. I just write the effective date, okay, and I write the exchange rate. So from Kenyan shilling to USD, okay, and I write the exchange rate here, and that's it. Okay, so when I set up my exchange rate, remember one thing, all my transactions that will take place, it will pick this exchange rate, but it does not mean I cannot override. I can still override. You know, when we do a bank transfer from, let's say, USD to Kenyan shilling or vice versa, you cannot go as per the rate defined over here in the system. Okay, because you negotiate with the bank and you get a spot rate. So that spot rate, you have to enter it manually directly when you're doing the transaction. Okay, so the system allows you. These are basic questions or main questions that are asked basically by finance managers, by finance people, because it's very crucial. Okay, now what if I don't set up an exchange rate? The system has a setting. If you don't set up an exchange rate, it goes and pulls from the internet, from Google, basically the current exchange rate. But then you will find the variance is a lot, because every day you will find there are some in decimal points the exchange rates are fluctuating, okay, and varying. Okay, and then definitely you have something called exchange rate revaluation. So you can revaluate your exchange rates over here, okay, either monthly or yearly, okay, and then it will post for you gain or loss. Okay, so this is basically with regards to the currency in the accounting module. Okay, we finished the multi-currency. This is the banking. So banking is very simple. So we basically have the bank reconciliation tool, okay, that any financial module or any system should have it. So here is where you reconcile your banking, okay, and also you can upload a bank statement here and then reconcile it. Definitely you need to upload it in a CSV format. So I'm back here to the accounting module. Accounting module also in ERPNext has a very good tools and features. If you see here this opening and closing, you see now when you implement any ERP system, okay, when you have a legacy system or even from scratch, you know, you have something, either you have data in Excel or you have data in your legacy system, and for which now you need to go and import those areas, okay. So here you have opening invoices creation tool, a very good feature, okay, very specific for importing your invoices, okay. So here example, we just select the company and what are we importing. So if you see, the imports are based on sales and purchases. Why sales and purchases? You see that from the name itself, opening invoice creation tool, because you need to have a proper opening balances invoice wise for your vendors and for your customers, so that you can have a proper accounts receivable and accounts payable reports, okay. So when you are sending your statement, you know, the customer or the vendor, basically you send statements to your vendors, so basically, or to the customers also you send your statements to demand money. So over here, you know, you have to give an history of all the opening invoices which have been not paid yet. So here you can import it, okay, directly. You can select the party over here, example if it's a customer or a vendor, okay. Now because it's sales, so it will list for you all your customers, and then definitely you will give what is the outstanding amount. If you see here, there is something called download and upload, a very good again feature inside ERPNext, and this applies to all the screens. Any transaction you will find wherever there are child tables, we call this as a child table, you'll find there is download or upload. So if I say download, directly it will download for you a template, okay. Let me open it. You see this template over here, and from here now you can enter your data directly. You see it gives you a template, you just enter your data, and then you can directly after entering the data, you can upload it from here. You just select, drag and drop the file, and you upload. So it will upload all the data, and then you click on create invoices over here. So it will create for you all the opening balances for your customers and for your vendors as well, okay, invoice wise or also it's called bill wise, okay. Again, we can also import a chart of accounts. Definitely, as I said, you have a legacy system, you have already a chart of accounts, so over here you can just select the company and import. It won't allow me to import because it's giving a message as an error, but this is not an error. Actually it tells you that you cannot import a chart of accounts because already there are some transactions in this account. You see the control, it has a very good control. Nobody can mess with the system because the system is already running. I have some transactions, it won't allow me to import a chart of accounts. Chart of accounts needs to be imported when it is just new, it's a fresh company. So that's what we do when we are initializing the company, implementing the company, then we import the chart of accounts into the system, okay. And then over here we have something called subscription management, again a very excellent feature in ERPNext. What is subscription management? So subscription management over here, if I come let me explain to you what is a subscription management. Let's say you have a recurring revenue or you have a recurring expense, okay, and the system needs to remind you. There are many things, like we have rent, okay, because rent doesn't change across a period, so it could be considered as a subscription against any other areas. Example, advertisement you are giving, you have billboards and you have to pay monthly, okay, it helps. Also what we discovered and we have done some settings for our customers here in the subscription, you see you pay rent for 3 months or for 6 months, okay. So what we do is we allocate for you this rent across all the months. You are paying it now. correct, but that expense has to be allocated across 6 months. So even that setting can be done inside the system, and it gives you a portioning of your expenses across various months. Okay, because sometimes you pay a rent which is a big amount for 6 months, and you find that your expenses has gone up in that particular month in which you have paid, but that's not true. You have to apportion that expense across various months. Okay, so this subscription management really helps you to manage any subscriptions you have. Okay, yeah, so these are basically we had covered almost all the areas in the financial part. We have this area which is a tax master. Okay, I'll come to it when we take the stock management and the items. Okay, because the way we have designed it or implemented it, it actually connects with your items and your customers and vendors to properly calculate for you the VAT and the taxes. Now, part of the accounting, we also have the payments. Now, in payments, actually you can define the mode of payments. Different mode of payments, it's just a definition. Okay, you have check, you have wire transfer, bank draft, credit card, cash, and you can define any mode of payment here. Example, in Kenya we have something called M-Pesa. Okay, so we can define also M-Pesa, which is a mobile money. Okay, so we will have M-Pesa. So these are the mode of payments we are defining inside the system. Okay, now once we define the mode of payments, comes the payment entry. So the payment entry, basically, if I open a payment entry here, the payment entry are of 3 types. See, in many other systems you will find you have payment, you have receipts, correct? And then for transferring money from one location or from one account to other account, you need to use a JV or a journal voucher. But here the beauty in the system that it's one screen, it's called payment entry, in which you can do 3 types of transactions. So one is receive, when you're receiving money from your vendors, suppliers, when you're paying money to your customers, and internal transfer, we are transferring from one cash to other cash, from one bank to other bank, or from a cash to bank, or bank to cash, or vice versa. Okay, so you will use an internal transfer. So if you are paying to your customer, you will say pay. You can now select the mode of payment from here. You see, we added just M-Pesa, so M-Pesa is here. Okay, so I'm paying to my customer, I'll select customer. Okay, now if I'm also using the HR and payroll, then you can pay also to your employee. Sometimes even you pay advance to your employees. Okay, so customer, and then you will select your customer. So as I select my customer, immediately it gives me what's the balance over here. Okay, which is again a good feature over here. I'm paying from which account. Again, I have to select from which account am I paying, which bank account. So I can select here the bank account, and now yeah, I can directly put my amount here. And then once I put the amount, it asks me again switch outstanding invoices. Okay, so I can get my outstanding invoices here. Let me select for a period of time. Okay, so yeah, sorry, like this now you can get the outstanding. As I said, I'm not going to go into detailed training, it's just to show you the functionality of the system. Okay, and then you can also here put your reference or the check number and check date, and you save. So let me show you one existing payment entry that has been done, that we have received. Example, we have received from this guy called Collins an amount of 8,700 shillings. And if you want to see the print layout, let me also show you a print layout. Okay, so you get a payment entry over here, or sometimes you also call it a remittance advice when you pay. Okay, so here you will find the payment entry. It has the voucher number, the date, it captures the amount in words, the check number, the maturity date of the check, if any bank, we can also mention it, against which invoice have we paid. Okay, and it's authorized by whom in all the details. Okay, and again, those print layouts can be basically customized based on your requirements. Okay, so back to the payment entry in accounts, and then we have the journal entry. Okay, journal entry basically helps you to make any adjustments, any depreciations you are posting, Okay, and the JV has we have the journal entry of different types, if you see here. So intercompany, if you are using intercompany setup, then you can also do an intercompany JV. You can do a bank, cash, okay, different type of basically journal entries you can have it done over here. Here also we have a debit note and credit note, but you can achieve debit note and credit note with your procurement and also the sales module. Now, so this was about the accounting module. Now, accounting module also deals with basically payables and receivables, which is obvious. So if I go to payables, basically payables are any amounts that are due on the company and they need to be paid to the vendors. So these are the payables. If I come here to the payables, we have here some reports, okay. So those reports are accounts payable summary. So let's go and see the accounts payable just to have a look and feel of the report, okay. So over here, if you come to the accounts payable, you will find this is the account payable. Now when I say accounts payable, so it gives you all the suppliers invoice wise, okay. For each invoice it will post, it will not give you a summary or it will not aggregate all the amounts due for a supplier, but it will give you invoice wise, okay. So it gives you all the suppliers here. You can find the bill number, the bill date, the invoice amount, how much amount have I paid against this invoice particularly, and what is the outstanding and the aging of the outstanding. Again, very, very beautiful report over here, okay. And these are all the filters available inside the system and the report. From here also I can directly go to accounts payable summary, okay. It links one report to the other report to ease the navigation. Now if you see here, the report is very small because it has aggregated all the amounts. It's not per invoice, it is what is the total amount due for a supplier, okay. And here it gives you again the outstanding and the aging. This is accounts payable, and if we come to the accounts receivable, okay. I'll finish accounts receivable, then I'll show you this payment reconciliation, which is again a very good feature, okay. So we come to accounts receivable, and in accounts receivable again, if I go to my accounts receivable here, receivable is what I need to get from the market or from my suppliers, from my customers, okay. So it shows me all the details over here, and if I take the summarized version, it will give me a summary of how much am I supposed to receive from each customer, okay. You can see this. Again, every report, we have covered that in the previous sessions, but I'm again repeating it for those who have not seen the previous video. Over here also you see you have all the filters. If I need a particular customer, can come here and say I just need, for example, Safety Clinic. Just click Safety Clinic, so it will filter and give me only Safety Clinic. If I remove the filter from here, then it will give me all my customers. Now I can also from here, if you see here, I can add columns, okay. So I can add columns here, okay. I can select example customer. If I need any field from the customer, I can pick that field from here and I can add it to my report, okay. And where am I, which location I want to add it, okay. Again, it gives you the location over here. So this is how you customize and add fields or remove fields on the go, okay, on the fly, immediately, okay. If you want to also filter by salesperson, because sometimes in some companies you have salespeople, and those salespeople are associated with a customer, so you can have it filtered by a salesperson, so it will show you all the customers related to this salesperson. So you can also send him the report and ask the salesperson to basically follow up and get the due balances. Now again, here we have something called setup auto email. So with the setup auto email, what happens, you can set up auto email here, Okay, you see accounts receivable summary. If we have integration with the email, so you can set it either daily or monthly or weekly. Okay, and what happened, this report now will automatically be sending to the specific users on a specific frequency or interval. Okay, so I don't have to remember. Example, you have salespeople or you have the sales manager. I want this report to be sent daily to the sales manager so he knows what's the outstanding and he can act upon it and go and get the payments from the market. Okay, and again, this auto email report is not only specific to this report, it's for all the reports inside the system. And finally, we have the financial reports. Okay, financial reports, basically, if you see, very crucial reports for any financial management system. So a trial balance that you will find every accountant or a finance manager or a director is looking at. So you have the opening debits and credits, the debits and credits of the period, and then you have the closing. So this is basically your TB, or we call it a trial balance. Okay, can go to now P&L. This is the P&L. So you'll have the P&L over here. Okay, you get the full P&L. You have the income, you have the expenses, and then you have the total profit of the year. And I can also filter by project. So if I want by this project, you see now it will show me what is my status. Am I doing any a profit or a loss in this project? Okay, you see I filtered by project. If I remove all filters, it gives me an accumulation of my P&L for the whole company. Also, we can filter by cost centers. Okay, if we have properly defined cost centers, then I can know my profitability per cost center. Okay, this is yearly. So I can also have it, if I say 2025, though I don't have any transaction in 2025 yet, but if I say 2025 here, it will show me a comparative. For every year, it will show me my P&L, and it becomes a very good financial report for us to compare. Okay, and definitely then we have the balance sheet and the cash flow as well. Okay, so this is the balance sheet. Okay, and also there is one report, a very good report. We have something called ratio. Okay, report financial ratio over here. So it shows you a financial ratio. Any financial guy or a financial manager will understand this report properly. It shows you the ratios over here. Okay, so yeah, and then we had this, we also have a trial balance by party. By party means I can have a TB per customer. Okay, I can select a customer and it will show me a trial balance per customer. Okay, total debits, total credits, and any balances. Now let's come here. We come to the, again, receivables or payables, and I show you the payment reconciliation. Okay, also directly I can basically search here. I can say payment reconciliation. You see, because system allows me to search, and I come here, I select the customer. Let's say I'm selecting Collins. Okay, example, get unreconciled entries. If I have any unreconciled entries, it will show me here. Currently I don't have. What this tool does, example, I received an advance payment from Collins and I processed the invoice, but I did not do any allocation, or vice versa. I had an invoice, I received payment, but I haven't tagged the payment against the invoice. So so at any point of time, I can come to payment reconciliation. I can tag the invoice with the payments, not only for customer, even for the suppliers. So by this, we come to an end about the financial module. There are a lot of features, again, hidden features, which it's difficult to cover in this short videos that we are making. Okay, And but at least with this explanation you will understand what are the capabilities and the scalability of the system, and also our capability as Aqiq Solutions to implement, customize and develop for you the system the way it suits you. Okay, thank you very much, and see you in our next video or the next session. And you can reach us out, the contact details and everything is they are shared in this video by the end of the video and also in the beginning of the video, so you can reach us out. You can also visit our website aqiqsolutions.com, and you will find a lot of information there. Thank you, and see you in our next session.